up? It's your boy Laz, aka MotoBroo, and in this video we're doing an updated version of how to wheelie a flippin' pit bike. I did a video about maybe 2 years ago on how to do it, but from then I've learned so many more tips and pointers to help you guys out. So let's get into this video, and in no time you're gonna be shredding. Alrighty gang, so you're on your flippin' pit bike and you're like, alright, what is the first step to pulling up a wheel ski? Well, first things, wear all your protective gear. Make sure you're wearing a freaking helmet, because I'm telling you, when you're learning wheelies, you will fall. This is 100% guarantee. So make sure you got all your gear on. When you're starting out, it's best to try it in the grass, so that's what we're gonna do right here. So I'm gonna give you guys the beginning tips of how to do a wheel skis. So the best thing to do is, how I do it, is pop your clutch. With some bikes, they have enough power to where you don't have to pop the clutch, but for my pit bike, it's best to pop the clutch. So you pull in the clutch and you give it a little gas like that, and you sort of just let go of the clutch and the bike's just gonna pop up. Watch. You see how it pops up like that? That is step one to bringing the bike up. So when people are like, yo, do you pop your clutch or not? That's what they're talking about. So you give a little gas, literally let go of the clutch. You see how it brings it up? The second step is your rear brake. You want to have your rear brake on lock. So right when I'm bringing it up, I'm starting to hit the rear brake so it doesn't go all the way back. When the bike is around like right here, you want to start hitting the brake, because once the bike gets almost to 12 o'clock, it's going to sort of feel weightless and it's going to want to start falling back really easy. So that's why you always got to have your foot on that rear brake. So the most important part is having that foot on this rear brake, I'm telling you. Alright, so let me show y'all actually on the road. So same thing, I'm going to pull the clutch in, I'm going to give it some gas, and then pop the clutch out. And right now, no gas, all brake. I'm just feathering the brake. Feathering the brake right there. And you just want to keep it in that sweet spot. So as you can see, it just wants to fall back right there, so I'm not giving it any gas. It's falling back, and all I'm doing is hitting the brake. I'm not slamming the brake. I'm lightly sort of just giving it pressure, letting it go. You're sort of playing with the brake on and off. Literally learning the rear brake was the hardest thing for me, but I'm telling you, once you master that rear brake, it makes everything else so easy. So like I said, pop the clutch, give it gas. See, right now I'm all just holding the brake down a little bit, not hard, just a little. Right now I'm holding the brake down. This is no brake, no brake, no brake. You can keep it in a certain point. Oh, that was brake right there. You can keep it in a certain point. See, this is no, oh, I hit brake right there. See, right here I'm at no brake. But once I bring that wheel up a little bit more, oh, you see I gotta hit the brake. So there's a fine line of where you can sort of just ride out the gear, where you don't have to hit the brake, and once you let go of the gas, it'll fall down a little, and you bring it up, you fall down. But once you get to around like 11 o'clock, that's when the bike gets weightless. Like 12 o'clock, when the bike is weightless, it's just want to fall back. So you gotta have that rear brake pushed in when it's about to go there. I'm telling y'all, it's best to learn it in the grass, bro, because you're gonna loop it. It's best just to start out first gear, pulling that clutch, give it a little gas, bring it up, and hit the brake. Hit the brake to bring it down. Don't let the bike down by itself, because you want to learn how that rear brake is and how much pressure to give it. So like I said, pop the clutch, give it a little gas, and then bring it down with the rear brake. When I bring it down, since I'm in first gear, I pull the clutch in or the bike will stall, which I'll show you right here, which will probably happen to you, but it's fine. Just let the bike stall out, but you'll get more comfy with that rear brake. Ready? Boom. Let the bike stall, and I have my foot on the brake. That's why it went down. So literally my foot is going like this. When I'm in that wheelie and it's about to hit like 12 o'clock, that balance point where the bike just sort of wants to fall back, I'm like this, do, 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 constantly just do, do, do. And you'll see the bike starts to go like that, and you're playing with it. And it's all together with the throttle and the back brake and then your balance too. So if you combine all those three and you get them all going at the same time, you'll be on your way to learn some more wheelies. Some pointers are, some people like to take their foot off. So when you're learning it, have one foot off and you can sort of just bring the bike up like that. And I'm hitting the, see right now I'm not hitting any brake, no brake, no brake, but right there I'm hitting brake. And you see, because once it hits that balance point, it's going to be weightless, so your bike's going to start wanting to fall back. So that's when you sort of got to feather the brake if you want to keep it going, or just slam it and it's going to fall down really quick. I'm telling you guys, you need to learn that rear brake and be comfortable with it, because when you're actually doing like a proper wheelie going fast and you slam the rear brake, it's deadly. So that's why you always want to feather it, and you'll feel it. Like, watch, no brake, I'm having no brake right now. Oh, I had to push brake right there because I started going past that point, you know. Oh, brake, you see right there? Brake. So when you're doing it, it's all in that throttle control and that rear brake, and you want to play with those two together. It's like a rhythm, bro. It's literally like a rhythm. You're like ying ying brake, ying ying brake, ying ying brake, ying ying brake, ying ying brake. It all comes together. It's gonna be weird at first, and especially balancing. A lot of people, when they first do wheelies on a pit bike or any dirt bike in general, they like to lean forward. So they're like this. They're leaning forward, which is not the proper way to do it. You sort of want to be just how you're sitting normal. You see I'm sitting normal? You're sort of like that in a wheelie. You're sort of just sitting normal how you were, like how you just normally sit on a bike. And the thing is, when you start going backwards, you sort of want to lean forward. Not a lot, but when you're around like 12 o'clock, you don't really want to be leaning back too far. You sort of just want to go a little bit forward, not crazy amount, but watch. As you see, when I bring the bike up, you can lean back, but you sort of like tuck into a ball. When I go back, when I bring the bike back, I don't really lean back. I sort of like bring myself into like a little ball, and it sort of helps keep the bike at that perfect balance point and keep it coasting. So that whole time you're in that wheel ski, you're just playing with that rear brake up and down, and then of course the throttle. You want to let go of the throttle at the right point too, because if you give it throttle when you're at that balance point, even if you're holding the brake, the throttle is just gonna freaking loop you out. So that's why I'm saying right when you get to like 11 o'clock, you'll start to feel the bike gets weightless, and you don't really want to give it a lot of throttle there, or you're just gonna loop it. So I'm gonna show you guys again. Clutch up. You see how I'm just giving it little putts at a time, and I'm hitting the brake right there. Little putt, gas, brake. And when you're at that balance point, you'll start to feel it's weightless, and that's when you could coast it. So when you're perfectly in balance, you're sort of feathering the brake a little bit, and you'll stay perfectly in that coasting 12 o'clock mode. But I'm telling you guys, it's all flipping practice. When you're doing these, it's just practice. So get yourself a nice grass field. We're gonna go over here real quick. And like I said, you pop it up, clutch up, give it a little gas, let go of the clutch, it pops up, and then hit the brake. That's the best way to start to get comfortable with it. And eventually, you'll start to feel that rear brake, and you'll be able to keep it a little longer like this. Pop the clutch, a little gas. So you'll be able to give it a little more. You'll probably stall out. You'll probably stall out many times doing it, but then you'll understand that rear brake, and then you can start to bring the clutch into it. So when you're going slow, this is like way further down the line. Once you understand that rear brake and the throttle control, you can start going slow with wheelies. And look at my clutch finger. I pull it in, let go. Pull it in, let go. Pull it in, and then you can sort of just be chilling. Pull it in, let go. Woo. So that just helps you keep the bike at like that 12 o'clock zone, that balanced weightless zone, without it stalling out. And if you're having a hard time pulling the bike up, even when you're doing the clutch up, it's probably that you're not really pulling your weight up. So it depends how much power your bike is and how much you weigh. But if you're a little bit more of a heavy rider and your bike's not that powerful, you sort of want to do the clutch up and pull back a little bit. Just pull back until you're about maybe like right around here. So here's the ground. Pull up right here, and then you're going to be, that's when you start getting into coasting mode where the bike gets weightless. So as you can see, I'll pull up second gear here. I'm going to clutch up. I'm sort of lean a little bit forward, and I'm going to pull back right when I let go of that clutch. It has to be at the same time or it ain't going to work too well. So when you're balancing the bike, watch how I'm leaning. So I'm going to tell you. See, I'm leaning to the right, the bike will go to the right. I lean to the left, the bike sort of goes to the left. But once it starts going to the left, you got to counterbalance it and go to the right. See, it's going to the, all right, now it's going left, so I'm leaning to the right. It's going to the right, I'm leaning to the left. It's all about counterbalancing the bike. I really hope some of these tips will help you out. I don't know if I'm the best at explaining how to do it because it gets a little complicated. But it's just the main three things are clutch up, throttle control, and brake control. And of course balancing. Once you got to learn how to balance the bike too on one wheel. Definitely if you do pedal bike wheelies, it will help your balancing on a freaking pit bike or dirt bike 100%. Figuring out the balance is like, I'll try to teach you, it's a little hard, but as you can see, if the bike feels like it's going to the right, you want to lean to the left. So I lean to the left, and you see the bike goes to the left. I lean to the right, the bike goes to the right. And once you start swerving, it's sort of counterbalancing. So you'll go to the left, but you'll lean to the right. So you initiate it, lean to the left, but once you start going like this, your body's going to be on the right side. So you got to counterbalance it. And yeah, you sort of just put it all together. Like I'm hitting gas, now I'm just coasting, now I'm hitting brake. I'm not slamming the brake, I'm just feathering the brake. Just a little feather, now brings it back down, now I'm giving it gas. Once it hits that point, let go of the gas. Let go of the gas, just feathering the brake. And you sort of keep doing that, and eventually you'll start to get comfortable with it. Wheelies take time, they really do. Like it took me about maybe a year of actually really trying to learn the rear brake and wheelies to sort of figure it out where I felt like pretty comfortable on it. So it's not something you're going to learn overnight, so don't give up. I'm telling you, just keep practicing the grass, wear all your protective gear because you will loop. If there's one thing I can tell you with wheelies, when you're first learning them, you're gonna loop, bro. That's why I always suggest learning on a small bike like a little pit bike or a Grom, because if you're like have a 450 or like a big sport bike and that's your first bike to learn wheelies on, you're gonna loop. It's just a matter of time. So that's why you might as well get a small bike where you can't go as fast. But alrighty guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something from it. Leave me a comment down below if you guys need any more help. I'll try to answer all the ones I can. If you need any more tips or anything, leave them down below. I freaking love you. Stay motivated. Peace.